everybody, it's Lauren Brown, also known as Raggedy Royal on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and now YouTube. And today we're going to be doing this nude, neutral brown, half-cut crease thing. Not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but I love it, right? And, you know, I make tutorials for everybody, but today on my heart is the people who go do their makeup to go sit in the Thanksgiving living room. You warriors are who was on my mind today when I did this tutorial. So that is what we're going to do. It is kind of like our half cut crease. So remember what I said about learning techniques and then change the colors? Yeah, this may be familiar to you. Thank you so much for 40,000 subscribers, which we hit recently. Thank you. And please make sure you take the survey down below. I'm trying to get a pinpoint everybody's makeup challenges and where they are in their makeup journey and how I can best serve you. So if you just take a second, it takes less than 5 minutes, take that survey down below, and we're going to jump right into the video. Hold up. The inspo for this look was actually one of my most viral looks like ever, which I really didn't expect to be that viral because I'm like, it's just a nude half cut crease. But I'm going to show you on the side what we were going for. And then you kind of see where we're at. Let's get into the video. Hi. Okay, so I'm starting with the eyes primed. I used concealer for the eyes today instead of my normal super white, super stark primer because we're going to be using browns. And browns don't need that white primer underneath to really give the vividness of, say, a purple or a blue or a green. So since we're using browns, I just used a very light concealer on the lids. Let's get into it. So I think today I'm going to blend from light to dark. Sometimes I blend from dark to light. Sometimes I blend from light to dark. Today we're going to go light to dark. So I'm going to start with the ColourPop Gone Matte palette, of course. And I'm going to go into these tan shades. So this light tan here. And this one, I feel like these are the exact same color, just one's warm and one's cold. That is the only thing with browns is they all look the same, but they all have different undertones. So you kind of have to, you know, be mindful of that. If you're going for a warm tone brown, you want to use warm tone browns. Going for a cool tone brown, we'll talk more about it as we go through probably. All right, so I'm going to be taking my BH Cosmetics brush that still needs a name. And I'm going to start on the crease. So where is your crease? Your crease, well, first of all, you can see mine because my primer has creased. However, and you always want to make sure that you pat that out so that, you know, there's no texture issues. However, where your crease is where you open your eye and close it. That fold right there, that's a crease. Now, everybody's crease is different. We have different shapes and sizes of creases. If your crease does not look like mine, you're just going to go halfway from your brow bone to your lash line. So here's your lash line here. Here's your brow bone. Just going to go halfway, and there's your crease. So I'm going to go in on my crease. I'm starting on my outer corner. And your outer corner is just the outside of your eye. Your inner corner will be where your tear duct is. And I'm going across the eye. I'm going to blend all the way to the brow bone as well. That's what helps blend in the face for people who are concerned about when I use lighter primers, like, oh my gosh, it's gonna, you know, create a stark contrast. Not if you blend all the way to the brow, babe. Let's go all the way to the brow. Especially with browns, I feel like you can blend them into the face. You can really, you know, take it there. Do the same on the other eye. Very nice. Okay, now I'm gonna open up my tried and true nude palettes. I'm not switching up with new nude palettes today. I just did that in my rose gold tutorial, but today I'm sticking with the faves. And I'm going to be going into who do I want to go into? This shade right here, Pukey. I think I've used this recently for faux freckles. That's why it looks more beat up than usual. So I'm gonna go into this darker tan shade here. I'm going to blend. Oh, I'm going to be using a BH Cosmetics 7 brush. And I'm going to blend right underneath where we put the first shade. We are building definition, right? So using brushes that are less dense. So I feel like I show this in every tutorial. But sometimes there's new people, guys. So I have to explain everything, all right? So And if you already watched my video where I've explained this, then just, repeat along with me. You're going to be using brushes that are more dense as you go down. So this brush is wider. The bristles are less densely packed. You see this one is more narrow. And as we go down the eye, the brushes will get thinner and thinner. The brush hairs will be more densely packed. It's going to concentrate the color more, which is going to make it deeper, right? And we're going to go deeper as we go down the eye. So if you've ever wondered, like, oh, this shade kind of looks like the last shade with a different brush, first of all, it could be the exact same color, but with a different brush, it'll look different. The color will be applied differently. And yeah, so you see, for example, this eye versus this eye, there's more definition, more contrast than this eye. Jumping to a darker brown would not give it the blend. Using colors that are close to one another and, meticulously adding them, that's what makes it look super blended. Not necessarily, 3 shades and then we blend them over and over again. It's easier if we use some shades that are close to each other and build up. So this is a darker tan, not quite a dark brown yet. I really love how it looks on the inner corners. Now I'm going back with the first shade and I'm just going to blend this out. It looks a little rough. We never add a color just once, and especially with browns. I feel like browns, they look the simplest, but I used to hate brown eyeshadow for like a good year and a half because it takes a lot of blending. I guess because you can't really hide like as much as you can behind like rainbow colors, because everybody's like, oh, it's so colorful, and it just looks colorful, so the blending is like, ah. But with browns, I'm like, oh Lord. Especially today, we're doing this nude cut crease. Important blending we got. If you hear that sound, that's me wiping off the brushes. I have a brush cleaning video for y'all coming soon, but I don't wash my brushes that much, to be honest. Just switching colors. All right, so I'm going to go into shade Mocha, and I'm going to tap into a little bit of shade Snoozing, only because Mocha is a little bit too warm. I don't want this to lean red. And I'm going on this ColourPop E23 brush, and I'm going right below the crease. Okay, this was not the brush for this. See how it kind of got stuck there? Let's use this Morphe M514. Okay, that's better. The definition here. That's what dark shades are for. I know that dark shades can be a little bit scary because it's like, whoa, once I add this, there ain't no going back. But there's a lot of risk for a lot of reward, all right? Because adding this dark shade and really deepening the crease is what's going to make the nude crease pop, because you have that nude next to that dark color. That's what makes your cut crease look crisp. The darker the shade is above it, the more crisp it will look. If you want to know how I did anything on my face, there is a tutorial for it. So I have a tutorial on how I do my fluffy brows. I have a tutorial on how I do my whole matte foundation that I posted recently. If you're into dewy foundation, I already have a dewy foundation video up. Yeah, all the things. Blush 101. We just did setting spray 101, so that's exciting. Setting powder 101. So go check those videos out. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We do stuff like this all the time. I feel like I've really been doing a lot of soft glam tutorials. I need to figure out what I want to do next. And luckily, I have a survey that I've put out a couple times, and I'll put in the description of this video, where I basically was just trying to do a post check on the ragdolls. Y'all are the ragdolls, by the way. If you're new here, you're a ragdoll. I'm Raggy Real. Y'all are the ragdolls. It's great. Anyways, I was trying to do a post check on the ragdolls and just see where people's makeup needs are, because I don't know. I haven't been a beginner in makeup for a long time. So something just kind of go over my head until somebody points it out and they're like, wait a minute, I don't know how to do this. Or wait a minute, this is, a big challenge of mine. Like, oh, maybe it's, finding products. Maybe it's finding techniques, blah, 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 blah. So if you want to take that survey, I think we are almost at 400 people who've taken it. Click the link in the description below. That survey has allowed me to kind of figure out what we're going to do next for the holidays. So there is that. So expect some more soft glam. And then I'll figure out when it's time to get back to the colors, how we're going to do that. Alright, so now I'm going to go back in with that dark tan to blend this out. Make sure it's outer corner because it's looking rough. Going back in with that light shade now. We're just blending, man. Time to cut the crease. Alright, so I added some concealer to the back of my hand. I'm going to be taking this Artist Love Vienna brush, small craft brush from the craft store. I'm going to take some of that concealer from before, and I'm going to start at the inner corner. So that's where your tear duct is. I'm going to go along the crease. One swipe. I'm going almost to the end of the eye, but not all the way there. About, I'd say that's 4/5. And I'm going to pat out the concealer. Why am I patting out the concealer? Because when there's too much wet concealer on the eye and near the crease, if you keep talking and blinking, as I plan to do, it's going to smudge everywhere. I don't even know what just happened here, to be honest. I think I just need more concealer on the brush. When it gets smudged like this, you just make it bigger. That's how you solve that. The most important thing is you gotta make them even. Looking in a faraway mirror, trying to see. There's a super small part of the eye where I went over the crease with a little bit of concealer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this small Simply Simmons 5 brush, just a small craft brush with a little bit of that brown on it. And I'm just gonna cover it up. That simple. All right, now it is time to do the lid. I'll be taking the Gone Matte palette, and I'm gonna go into shade Teddy and a little bit of Fluff Up. Once again, this one's warm, this one's really cool, so I'm just kind of mixing those together. Let's see if this is light enough. And I'm gonna go right onto the crease. I'm gonna go right onto the lid. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop E4 brush. It's really opaque. I know I'm going to add a lot. When it comes to the mattes, I just pat. I don't drag because, especially with these light eyeshadow colors, the foundation underneath will crack. What I mean by that is it will show all the texture on the lid. if you know, swipe and move too much, especially with these light colors. I always liken it to like wearing a white dress with the wrong underwear. It's like, ooh, that's really hard to get away with. Because like with a black dress, you know, you can kind of hide everything. But with a white dress, I probably need a better analogy. But that's what I got for now. I've been using that for like 6 videos, so maybe it's just sticking. I'm being really careful up at the crease, trying not to get any eyeshadow to go over top of it into that dark brown. However, if it does, I just showed y'all how to fix it, and we will fix it. It's not the end of the world, but it is something that we would like to avoid to save time. I'm about to go get my hair dyed. Woo-hoo. The pink era is about to be over, so I don't want to have to do too many steps I don't need to do. I'm going to do the same on the other eye. I'm gonna go halfway out the eye. Taking that dark brown and just go over some areas. I'm gonna use the same brush. And we are going to go into that medium tan, not the first tan we used, but that medium tan. And we are gonna go right next to that light cream color. Wow, this is prettier than I expected. I had high hopes, but it still exceeded them. I'm gonna put this color here. Like, is this not giving Thanksgiving? Is this not giving, you know, the eyeshadow tutorial that you do to go sit in the living room? Like, come on now. Come on now. Now I'm going to be taking the ColourPop E23 that we used earlier for like a second. And I'm going to be going into shade Mocha and a little bit of that dark shade Snoozing, just a smidge. And I'm going to go right into this outer corner and blend that. And all right, now it looks a mess. Let me show you what we're about to do. Let's go into those light tan shades. The first shade that we went into, these light tans. And this is what I call bridging the gap. So we have 3 main colors. We need to make a variation. We need to make it flow, right? All right, so I'm gonna go here because this light tan color is the shade in between the cream and the tan. It's a color in between that. So like I was saying earlier about blending, using colors in between will really help your blending. All right, now I'm gonna do a little bit of that medium tan again, but not too much because I can see that this eye is already starting to be like, whoa, what are you doing? And how you can tell that is when you have demarcation. So that's when the eyeshadow just kind of like disappears. That's when it's like, all right, we've had enough. I'm gonna be taking a shade a little bit of Mocha. I'm putting it out here. Mocha. That dark shade again. And then we're gonna take it to the chorus. We're gonna go right back to that light cream and just kind of blend this harsh edge out. So adding a little bit of cream first. And then I'll add the tan shade. I'm using this tan shade next to, because this one's a little bit too warm. So I'm using this tan shade to kind of calm down that orange feel we got going on. That's what I was saying about browns and the undertones of them. They can lean either way. All right, now usually at the beginning of tutorials I say, hey, If you're gonna do this eyeshadow look, do it before your base. I didn't do that today because I didn't know how the browns were gonna, I didn't think they were gonna leave a lot of fallout. This is how much fallout you can expect. I don't know if y'all do tutorials before you do the look or you do it as you do the look. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like I've done both. Like I watched a tutorial and then done it, and I've also done it alongside. So sorry if that PSA you needed before, but I'm just giving it to you now. Yeah. I think this gradient is very nice. Very nice. I'm gonna go into the waterline. I'm going white today. I also love to have neutral makeup when I go get my hair done, especially when I get it dyed a new color, so that, you know, I'm kind of already prepared for the selfies. And it's just a tradition I have with all the hair colors. So white, of course. I'm using NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil and Milk and a craft brush. This is a Zero Craft Smart brush. I have a whole video on Waterline 101, waterline safety, what products to put in it, what colors give what effect, all of that. So if you want to check that video out, please do. I'm going to go to the waterline, and as always, we're going along the eye. I'm not going perpendicular to the eye. People say, oh my gosh, how do you put something in your waterline? It seems so scary. I'm going along the eye. I'm not sticking something at my eye. Now for the lower lash line, I feel like I'm gonna go pretty soft and calm. So I'm gonna go into these 10 shades here on a Morphe M456. Blend below. I especially like the warmer tan on the lower lash line because it kind of blends into like my blush, my skin tone, things I have going down there. And then with our ColourPop E4, I'm gonna go into those darker shades and just kind of, I'm only gonna keep that on the outer half. Yeah, so the eye is still kind of opened up. Using those dark shades right underneath on the outer half. Yes. Yeah. Okay, last step before lashes, I'm gonna be taking this ColourPop E10 Dome brush. And I'm going to go into those cream shades from before. And we're going to just blow this thing open. I'm also going to put some on the inner, what is this, like 10th? Because I like the way that it opens up the eye. Look at this eye compared to this eye. And when I say inner 10th, I mean on the bottom. Boom. All right, so now I'm going to put on mascara and put on my lashes. I'll be back for the outro. I'm not leaving you hanging. If you want to know how to put on lashes, I have a whole tutorial for that. It'll come up in the card. So check out that tutorial, learn how to put the lashes on. I need to find some lashes and cut them and customize them and do the whole process. So I'm going to put on my lashes and I'll be right back. Yeah, I like how this looks. I like this. Alright, so here is the final look. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, or you just like hanging out with me, give this video a like. Make sure you subscribe down below. We just hit 40,000 subscribers, I think 2 weeks ago. So I'm still on the high from that. Thank you so much for that. Also check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, all at Raggedy Royal. If you recreate this look, please tag me in it. I've been seeing some recreations lately. This is one of my favorite things about my job. Those never get old. So if you try this look out, let me know. Tag me in the picture. Also, check me out on those socials for more of my life and more of my looks. I have a whole bucket list series on TikTok where I try so many different foods, cuisines. I feel like I've been to every fast food restaurant in the country, and also activities. So I've done crazy things. Every time I do an outro, I always think about jumping out of a plane, but I've done like so many other things to jump out of a plane that always comes up to mind. I've done a triathlon. I've rode a horse at a ranch. I've gone to a safari park. I've gone to a rage room. So many things. Check me out on TikTok for that. And I will see you in our next video. Make sure you take the survey down below, please, to help me figure out where everybody's makeup challenges are and how I can best serve you. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.